Yeah, and next week we're going to have that chance. We'll see what happens here, see if we can set up enough juice coming in. But there is that possibility. One big-time storm in the state today. We were just talking about it a little earlier that prompted a tornado warning from the National Weather Service briefly for about 20 minutes for a storm that went just outside Springer, is now weakened considerably. Downtown Albuquerque, no sign of trouble here. And check out the northern mountains. When we talk about areas that have gotten some rain, enough rain to green things up, you can see it here in the Red River area. It's beautiful up there, and we are likely to see an increase in the moisture next week. So hopefully this will be the type of year where we never end up with a really bad stretch of fires across the northern mountains at least, although we've seen them in the Gila and we've seen some starts near the Sacramento Mountains as well. Hopefully that's not going to be a huge factor. Here's our latest storm right here. It's the only storm in the state. And this is the one that originally touched off that tornado warning. Now it's getting ready to hug the Mora and Harding County lines right now out in rural sections of northeastern New Mexico. But this storm still could pack a bit of hail with it and some pretty gusty winds. But as you can tell, without that storm, boy, it's tough to find anything across the state. We're going to largely see clear skies, and we've got some drier air on its way here and on its way in. 87 degrees right now in the metro. It is warm. 60s and 70s off to the north, down to the south, 70s and 80s for the most part. And temperatures will continue to rise here, and we're still going to see the shot of the shower, I think, on Friday, but that doesn't look great. And then beyond that, it's all about the heat. So the dry air punching its way in here. We have some moisture out to the east. That will continue to get muscled out by the drier air that comes on in. So for tonight, look for mild conditions, really downright warm. High pressure, which is currently off to our southwest, will slowly migrate over the state into the weekend. So you know what usually happens in those cases? When we set up the high in the vicinity of the state, that tends to warm the air mass up over us, and we're likely to see some really warm temperatures over the weekend here as this thing continues to make progress. Now, by Friday, we are going to see a storm system curl to our north. Models are showing a little better track of this thing dipping a little closer to us, so there will be the chance at getting a couple storms going across the northern mountains here for Friday. But then the big story is that high, and as it heads in our direction, the dry air comes in too. And remember, as you compress that air down in the atmosphere, you heat it up, you dry it out. So we're going to end up with a hotter condition setup here than we've seen so far this spring and summer, and be prepared for very warm temperatures across the board here. And we're talking about temps that could end up near, say, maybe even near 100 degrees across the south and close to it here across the metro area as well. Let's go region by region. Temperatures for the most part in the 80s across southern Colorado with mostly sunny skies, warm conditions, and we'll keep those warm conditions with temperatures eventually in the 90s by late this weekend and into next week. 89 in Grants, 93 in Farmington, and 88 in Gallup, where we're seeing temperatures that are going to be pretty warm there as well. 90s to triple-digit heat across the southwest with those southwest winds 10 to 20 miles an hour. Over to the southeast, temperatures here anywhere from the 80s in Cloudcroft all the way up to the triple-digit heat of Roswell. And Roswell is going to stay very hot over the next 7 days. Northeast going to warm up nicely too, but you can see the moisture start to enter the forecast here Tuesday and Wednesday of the 7-day forecast across the northern and eastern portions of the state. So that is promising. 90 in Edgewood, 89 in Harris, and 87 out in Mountain Air. And here into the metro area, we start off pretty mild, 50s and 60s, and warm up very quickly into the mid 90s. And it gets warmer from there. Now, we could briefly cool down on Friday. With that system going to the north, we could push some slightly, and I mean slightly cooler air into the area. But then by Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 98 degrees. Going to be close. Wouldn't be surprised if we clipped 100 one of those days at KRQE Mark on Twitter.
Can't wait to see that electric bill.
Oh, it's going to be very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, empty out the pockets.
All right. Thanks, Mark.